Hi, and welcome back to Bill's Cichlid Room. It's getting towards the end of September, so it's time to have a look around, see what's been happening in the fish room during September. A couple of new fish that I've got, and a couple of breeding projects. So yeah, let's have a look. Before we get started, just to let you know, it's coming up to auction season again. So next Sunday it's the Greater Manchester Cichlid Group's auction in Littleborough, and here's the leaflet. And on Sunday the 7th of November it's the North West Cichlid Group's auction in Rainford. So here's the leaflet for that one. So here's the Thomas Cichlid Asfraki, and they've been settling in over the last few days, well, a week to be precise. But they weren't really skittish, so unless you crept up to the tank, you didn't actually get to see them. They have been eating the food because, like when you come back an hour or two later, it's not there anymore. But I thought I tried the same trick that I tried when I had them in July. So what I've done is I've put my original group of rainbow cichlids in there, so there's 6 of them all together. This was my breeding group, so I've put them in there, taking them out of the Parachromis lewisselli tank. So I've put them in there, so they've only been in this tank for a couple of hours. But as you can see already, the Asfraki, they're a lot more outgoing, coming around, investigating stuff. I've just fed them with the frozen food, so yeah, they're going around looking for bits of that. Yeah, so the other interesting thing is the rainbow cichlids. Since I've put them in this tank, they've actually got the yellow colour back again, so I don't think they were very happy in the tank with the lewisselli. They must have always been on edge. But yeah, no problems so far with the Asfraki, really pleased with them. Yeah, so now I can see them, I'm actually even more pleased with them. Yeah, so you can see the rainbows going round, getting used to the new surroundings. So no doubt they'll start breeding in the next couple of weeks. And when they were in the tank with the lewisselli, I think they've always been threatened and haven't actually managed to settle down to actually do some breeding. But yeah, so hopefully this was a good move for both the Asfraki and the rainbows. Yeah, the next tank to have a quick look at, I did the species profile on these a couple of weeks ago. The Spilaris, the Cryptoheros Spilaris. So there is 2 breeding pairs in here, well, 2 pairs, and it does look like this male's actually started to develop, so he's getting that typical male shape now. They're still only small, they're only about 2 inches in size, if that. But yeah, he's definitely been looking round and like trying to choose a female. It's only a small tank, this one. It was only in there to actually grow them on until they got to size. But yeah, it looks like we could have a spawning of these before too long. You can always tell with these when they are ready, because they actually they do change colour, which is really handy to so you know what to look out for. Yeah, so this is the tank next to it. It's actually it's a 30-inch tank split in half, but this is the other side. So this has got the grow out of the latest spawn of the minor eye in there. So yeah, these are doing really well this time. They're growing on a lot quicker than they did the last time. So I think that they're 5 or 6 weeks old now. Yeah, so you can see that a couple of them are still smaller, but yeah, most of them are starting to get to a good size. This is the tank that I rescaped last week in my 15-minute makeover. And yeah, it's lo and behold the Amatelania autofluvi. So they've all coloured up, so it looks like they've got eggs on the inside of the bogwood. I've tried and tried, but I can't actually get any footage of the eggs. Where they are, it's just out of reach for me. But yeah, again, I've just fed this tank, so that's where all the bits are. But yeah, they've coloured up really nice. So yeah, they're doing a good job of guarding the eggs, it looks like to me anyway. So yeah, I'd be really pleased if these actually do start spawning. I've had these nearly 12 months now, so I did try them in a tank by themselves for a while and nothing was happening. I put them in another tank with something else and nothing was happening. They've been in this tank for quite a while. Lo and behold, you do a rescape on it, and within a week they've actually started spawning. So yeah, that's really good. Yeah, so this is the tank with these are the youngsters of the parents of the rainbows. So the ones that were all breeding there a couple of weeks ago. So I've got the cutter eye in there with the Neotropolis now as well. So it looks like just about all the fry of the rainbows have gone now, and they've gone this darker colour again. So yeah, just to show you, so a couple of weeks ago when they were all breeding, they all had that fantastic yellow colour. So yeah, they've lost that now, and they've got the stripes, but yeah, the cutter eye, it looks like the female, she's entering into breeding dress, and the Neotropolis, obviously, the male's in the breeding dress. So yeah, it's all changing this tank. Yeah, so this is the Carpenter's tank with all the grow outs. So I had a little clip of this in the video I did last week. So this is the youngsters of the Neotropolis. So they've actually spawned. There is fry in there. I've actually seen the fry. So yeah, they look really cute at this size. They're only about 1.5 inches, and yeah, they're spawning already and doing a really good job of protecting the fry from everything else in the tank. So yeah, it won't be too long before the minor eye and the cutter eye start pairing off, and hopefully the Carpenters. They are growing really well, those now. They're about 3 inches now, those ones. Obviously we've got the Fenestratus in here as well. They've got a lot of growing to do before they start pairing off. But yeah, I think this is probably my favourite tank at the moment with the aquascaping that I did. So a quick look at this tank. So this is the one that did have the original breeding group of rainbows in. So all we've got in here now is the Parachromis lewisali, or the Fredestarli, but we'll call it the lewisali so we don't get too confused. So it's got 7 of those in now. As you know, it did have 5. I managed to obtain another pair about 6 weeks ago. I had them in another tank just settling down, but I've moved them into this tank now. So it's the 7 lewisali, and it's the pair of Cubans. I seem to have lost one. I haven't seen a body or anything, and it was just like it was the paler coloured one. So the one that I think is the female, but I could be completely wrong on it. But yeah, I had 2 of them, and now there's only 1 left in the tank. So yeah, I don't know what happened to the other one. But yeah, and the only other fish in here is the 2 spare female Nicaraguensis. Yeah, so putting them in there. So I think the lewisali, some of them are about the right size now to start pairing off. They're about 4 inches in size. So yeah, I don't think it will be too long before they start pairing off, and then no doubt there'll be mayhem in this tank, because there's 7 of them. I've not actually managed to sex them all yet, but it does look like there's a good mix of males and females. This is the Costa Rican tank, so it's got me one and only tuber in there, like the 4 Passionis, and the pair of the Nicaraguensis, and it's got the pair of minor eye in there, and the spare youngster that they've managed to grow on despite all the odds, and the male Robert Stoney. So nothing's changed in this tank, but yeah, just sort of looking after I've been aquascaping the other tanks, it needs a little bit of work, this one. So what I'll probably do after this weekend, after the auction, the Greater Manchester auction, I'll have a tidy up of this tank, try and rescape it, and yeah, try and get it looking really nice again. Yeah, the polleni, they did actually spawn again for me earlier in the month. I did take the eggs off them, put them into the little tank with some of the methylene blue, but yeah, complete disaster, as you can see from the photograph. So yeah, I'm waiting for them to spawn again, and I'll try something different. Not quite sure what yet. Might put the male in the other side of the tank and move the divider over so that the female and the eggs are in the same part. See what happens there. But yeah, this is all the fun of keeping cichlids. If you have a pair that like won't raise their own eggs, but they are still only young. They're only about 12 months old, so yeah, they've got plenty of growing to do yet and plenty of time. This is like Steph's grow out tank, so this has got a lot of the the dolphins, the morai, a couple of the almacara, the Reuben reds. They're starting to sex out now, and there's a load of the lemon blue-eyed plecos in there. So yeah, these will all be going into the auctions, even the Manchester one, which is next Sunday, or the Northwest Cichlid Group one, which is the first Sunday in November. So yeah, just to let you have a look at what Steph's got and that she's going to be putting in. These are some of the ones that I'm going to be putting in. So there's the Cutterai in there, there's the Geophagus standectori, there's a couple of pairs of Mineri still left in there. There might be a couple of the Neotropolis that I won't really know until I try and catch them and see how many of those are left. Yeah, so this is what we've got going in. So yeah, if you can manage to get along to either Manchester or the Northwest Cichlid group auctions, yeah, it'd be nice to see you. And yeah, you'll be able to get a couple of fish for a reasonable price. Yeah, so the standectori, they're getting up to size now. They're about 1.5 inches, some of them touching 2 inches. So yeah, hopefully we should do quite well with those. This is one of the other grow out tanks that I've got. So these are the pink Fenestratus. There's a couple of the Carpinters in there, and there's 1 or 2 Cutterai that I didn't manage to catch last time. So yeah, the Fenestratus, they'll definitely be ready for the Northwest Cichlid auction, but I don't think they're going to be the right size for the Manchester one. I might be able to catch some of the normal coloration ones out the other tank. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed a look around what was going on during September. If I don't see you at the auctions next week, I'll see you on the next video.